How's it going, everybody? I'm wearing the wrong hat. The old switcheroo. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Is It a Buy, where we talk about stocks and try to determine if they are worth a buy or maybe a pass. My name is Corey. I just like to preface the video by saying I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy who likes to talk about stocks. So please take what I say with a grain of salt, all right? Welcome. Ginger is a member for 2 months. Ginger. I don't see her just yet, I don't think, but I'm sure she'll be here in a second. Just remind me to congratulate her whenever she comes in. But let's add to the chat really quick. We'll talk about good old AMC, up 15% on the day. Feels good. Feels so freaking good. Dog, nice way to into the weekend. Absolutely nice way to end the week. Nice way into the weekend. Feels good, right? Last Friday was kind of rough, and but you know what? Persevered. And look at us now. I am Camino says, hello, money invested friends. What is up? Chatty Trader, AMC is GOAT. I freaking love it. Dan, AMC to the moon. King, AMC to 10K. Dog says, Corey, I averaged up today. Not easy to do with, XXX shares. Small position, but expensive. I did this to show my friends that I still think it's a buy at these prices. Let's see. I bet no one will jump in, but and that's true, right? Here's the deal. My friends, well, actually I did have one friend who did jump in, and I was right? I've been telling them since, $5-10, guys, this is the play. You know what I mean? And my friends, I can kind of tell them, but, even with them, I say, this is just, do what you want to do. But I truly, firmly believe this. And looks like I may have been correct. But it looks like all of us were correct, right? And yeah, I think the only thing I'm going to regret about this movement is not trying to recruit more like friends and family to like get in on it. I mean, anyone who's kind of like around or around this stuff, I kind of I try to get involved, right? And try to let them know, but it's risky at the end of the day, right? It seemed risky, at least at the time. Hindsight is 2020, but either way, I felt like it was a good bet regardless, right? Either way. Let me close my door. Regardless, so it is what it is. But I'm glad you averaged up. Remember, I doubled down here's the deal. Whenever it was at 27, I doubled down. And then even at 47, I added to my position, right? I didn't quite, double down again, but I added, $5,000 more or something like that. Maybe a little, yeah, it was over 5,000. Yeah. To my position again at $47, right? And it shows, and the reason I'm doing this is because, well, first of all, I wish I would have gone all in, sooner, or all in sooner. But I want to show people that I put my money where my mouth is. I'm not just here saying, oh, like I think it's going to go up, and then have you guys like try to pump it or something, and I freaking leave. No, that doesn't make any sense, right? First of all, that's illegal. Second of all, not something that I'm really interested in at all, right? I just truly believe in it. So, yeah. Bariah says, read about Sens is about to explode Monday. Check it out. Oh, I'm very curious to know about that. I'm very curious to know about that one. I would love to see Senseonics blow up. I do like Senseonics a lot. I covered them a while ago. King Snazzy, what is up? Lee. AMC to 100K. I love it. Hey, what's up, Johnson? What's up, Captain Cash? Today was a good breakout day. Yeah. Speaking of the breakout, let's talk about AMC a little bit. Let's talk about what's been going on, right? So, as you can see, we're kind of doing what we've been expecting the entire time. Once again, I'm very, very freaking happy that we bounce off this level of support again, around this 42 mark, right? This $42 mark. We've been bouncing off a few times. I was, it gets a little bit nerve wracking. I don't want us to drop below that, because if we do drop below that, then I just moved this and I don't know where the heck I moved it to or where it was from. I think it's supposed to be at 32. This level, yeah. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, you know, as we talked about, I think we've been in this wedge as well as we do have this floor right here that we've been respecting. Thank goodness at $42. I think as long as we continue to respect this $42 floor, we're good, right? It looks like we did have I'd call this a George W, right? Double bottom right here. Into a bullish reversal, and looks like that's what we have currently in the after hours, up 0.73%, nothing too crazy, but hopefully it'll continue. Yesterday it went up 4% in the retrace, 2% in the after hours to end at, I believe, up 6% yesterday in the after hours. Today we'll see where it goes. Maybe we'll be up 2 or 3% in the after hours, or maybe we'll trade flat or even negative a little bit, but we'll just keep an eye on it and see what happens. We do have about 45 more minutes until the market closes for the weekend, and we'll see what happens. Neener says, I'm gonna suffer from PTSD by the time this is all over. Yes, that is something I'm slightly concerned about, but at the end of it all, hopefully I'll have enough money to afford a therapist for my potential PTSD from everything that happened. But you know, and that's why I just try to take it super slow, one day at a time. And I do not, I want to reiterate this as many times as possible. I do not look at my positions. I don't look at my account like my account all day. And you know what? This has really helped me a lot. It's helped me so much, because that anxiety that you get when you look at your full account, like with all the numbers and it's going up and down and up and down, that is probably one of the worst things you can do for your mental health, in my personal opinion, just because you're not seeing, oh, you know, AMC's good. You're saying I'm down this much dollars today, right? I'm down this much today, instead of saying, and it becomes a matter of, can I afford to lose this money? Like, you know, up so high, and most of us are positive either way, right? It could retrace pretty harshly, and you'd probably be pretty good, but the best thing I ever did was decide to not, well, second best, the first thing I ever did was buy a bunch of AMC. Second best thing I ever did was, as pertains to stocks, I don't know if my fiance is listening. But as far as stocks goes, I literally forgot where I was going with that. Buy the stock, buy the dip, buy the this. Wow, I'm actually losing my mind. Oh, anyways, feeling good about the stock, feeling good about what's going on. Double down, added my position. Wow, I'm so sorry. I literally forgot where I was going. Anyways, let's continue with the chat, see what we've been talking about. But as we see, we do have this technical breakout. We are breaking on this technical breakout positively, right? Bullishly, which is why I have this green up here and this red down here, just to make it crystal clear for anyone who may be a little bit confused on what is predicted to happen whenever we break through these technical points. This one, I suppose, should have probably been red. I can make it red really quick, just so we can see. I'll make it a different shade of red, just so we can see here. Sure, I'll make it these two different shades of red that we're looking at. I do like that we are respecting this level of support in two different ways, right? We have this wedge, and now what I think I am going to be able to do is move this wedge again even more. And remember, we're consolidating here, and this is really what it looks like. We're just in a consolidation phase. We are here. We're really looking at the end of the day, after we get through all these little, micro points of resistance and support. At the end of the day, we're looking for a break over, 60. Once we get that break over 60, finally, we'll be in a good place. We might have to go through 62 as well. We'll see if there's a little bit of resistance around there. But if we're able to get through like this 60 mark, and if we blast past 62, which is very possible, then we'll see some good price action. We'll be back up here, and hopefully we'll get to the point where, if we do continue this dance for even longer, hopefully our next level of consolidation will be, maybe it'll be 60, right? Where we're teetering, instead of like, these, well, I guess it's been 40 to 60, but hopefully we'll stay above 60, or maybe we'll find a new level around 80 or something, right? 90, where we can, or 100, where we're just consolidating, then we jump again, consolidate, jump again. I don't mind. I wouldn't mind that at all. I'm in this for the long haul, and if it takes long, no problem. I'll wait. I will wait. All right, let's go ahead and continue here. So yeah, I mean, looking great. I mean, I couldn't freaking ask anything else. Let's take a look at GameStop. So GameStop is up 5.88% on the day. Nice little double bottom here, right? Little bounce, George W. And looking bullish. Hopefully we'll cover back up in here. We probably have to fill up some of these, but realistically, I wouldn't be surprised if we hit 50 or 250, I should say. Next week, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we supported there. I think we'll have to break through probably around here 260, and once we break 260, we'll probably be back up here around 290. And so just looking forward to that. Some weird things going on with GameStop. As we saw, this dip was very unfortunate. Doesn't seem like normal realistic price action, right? It seems just wacko, but it is what it is. We haven't taken a look at Doge in a while. Let's take a look at Doge really quick. Doge, let's look at it on the 3-month and see if we have anything interesting here. Man, Doge, what a great run up. You know, good for Doge. It looks like it seems to be supporting at 30, right? At 30 cents right here. Yeah, I mean, basically, I guess on a technical standpoint, maybe a little lower, but either way, 30 cents seems to be pretty solid. Before it was kind of 33, but it looks like we're around 31 right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was back at 33 very soon. Bitcoin going through some similar pains, right? And Bitcoin just kind of falling and kind of looks like it's probably found a floor around here, right? 31K, and then it's back up here at 37. Currently, I think that Bitcoin is going to be I think Bitcoin's here to stay. If you've been around, I think Bitcoin, Ethereum are really here to stay. Doge seems to be making its own way for itself, and I think there are big players that are making the way for Doge as well. I feel like Doge is probably going to be here to stay. I think there's going to be a big 3 or a big 5 or something where these cryptos are the Visa, MasterCard, Chase, or Visa, MasterCard, American Express, those kinds of cards, right? I think we're going to have that kind of situation with these where not everywhere accepts American Express or some other cards, but I feel like we're going to have that kind of situation whenever it comes to these cryptos, and that's just a theory, right? But just the way crypto seems to be going seems to be the case here. All right, let's see who did well for the tops for the day, and then we'll go into Ortex. I'm going to go into Ortex. I want to go into a few articles and stuff, or I guess Reddit articles, and we'll see where we go from there. So top of the day, oh my gosh, up 135%, freaking crazy. Anything I recognize in here? Icon seems similar, but I'm not sure if it's just a common, kind of word. No top losers for the 1 day. Hopefully nobody in here. No. Dibs, this one seems familiar. I feel like I've seen this one before, but all right, so I'll take that. No worries. Let's take a look at Ortex really quick. So let's take a look at AMC. Okay, and really remember, not putting as much weight into Ortex as we've been putting it in, but just kind of accepting it for what it is and understanding that this is 85% of the exchanges, and not really including naked shorting from my understanding. Okay, shares on loan, it did go down just a tad. Even then, this is a crazy amount of shares on loan, 78.2 million. Shares on loan. Short interest is kind of hovering around 11 and 12 currently. Either way, and here's the, I know we were around, I think we were close to 20 a few months ago or something, or early last month, I think it was, or mid last month, whenever it was, and it's gone down, but this is still extremely high. Okay, this is a very high short interest. I'm not worried about it at all. And considering, remember, the hedge funds know we're looking in here. The hedge funds also know that they know what they're doing. They're not, these guys, this isn't their first rodeo. All right, it kind of is their first probably short squeeze like this, but to this magnitude, right? I really think it is going to be unprecedented. It's unprecedented. Mother of all short squeezes. It's going to be wild. So let's take a look at Stonko Tracker. Stonko Tracker. So I'm looking forward to, and the reason I have this is hurting. There we go. Jeez, that was killing me. So I'm looking forward to options for next week. Next week, I think, is going to be a very, very, very interesting week. It's going to be I think it's going to be a battle. I truly do. And use the weekend, rest up and get some, be prepared. Diane, what's up? Good evening. So I think it's going to be a battle. I'll talk to you why I think it's going to be a battle. Last time we had this gamma squeeze, right? A few weeks ago, when we were up like, I think 100% on the day, that we had we had about 20 million contracts, which I think is 200,000, right? 200, whoops, I needed 2 times 100. Yeah, so about 200,000 contracts. It was 190,000 to make 19 million shares. Okay, finally got that out. So with that being said, if I'm curious, right, as a hypothesis, let's say we have that many shares expire in the money again, right? We do have a huge gamma squeeze, or that many shares expire in the money. I wonder if it would trigger another gamma squeeze. Now, theoretically, what happened last time is the price went up and the hedge funds theoretically would have had to hedge their bet, which would have caused the gamma squeeze. And I'm not going to go into all the minute details and how that works, but there's great articles online that you can kind of read up on, and you can just Google what is a short squeeze, how does a short squeeze work, and it kind of goes over all that good stuff, right? And the reason I don't want to explain it is because if I were to try to explain it right now, it would probably come out awfully. But there's kind of, from what I read, there's two kind of aspects. There's the price going up rapidly in 1 week, and there's these options expiring in the money. I'm not sure if we can get one just off the options expiring in the money, but the good news is I do happen to remember that, and I don't have the numbers for January, right? I literally paid several people to see about what the options were for January, whenever the week before January 27th, on that Friday, how many options expired in the money, but I literally could not find anything. It was a total train wreck. I paid for these things. It wasn't very expensive. It was like less than $10 or whatever. And I couldn't find that data. If anyone has that data, by the way, about how many options expired in the money the Friday before January 27th, I would love that freaking information. So luckily, I do remember that this past gamma squeeze, there were about 190,000 contracts, right? So 190,000 contracts is the magic number to make 19 million shares, over 19 million shares. And so this is obviously half that, right? So we're not even there for June 11th, which is today. But next week, let's talk about what's going on next week. Next week is a big week, right? Because if we look at the options, the big one right here was the 40 for next week, the $40 strike, 107,000 contracts times 100, because one contract is 100 shares. This brings you to 10 million shares only at the $40 strike, right? That's halfway there that you need to be. So if this is this, I mean, realistically, if you were to add up all of these, theoretically, I mean, we can go here and let's just see if we can get another, we just need another 100,000, right? So this is, 10, we'll call this like 20 with 2s in here, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I mean, like easily, right? Easily there's going to be over 200,000 contracts, which theoretically, if the hypothesis is true, if it works, then it would be, it could theoretically gamma squeeze again, right? So that's why I think it is going to be a huge battle. Even right here at the $50 strike, you're going to see that there's a bunch of options that are close, right? This is a huge amount right here. And even at the even dollar amounts, people just like love those even dollar amounts, which is cool. But you know what? I wish people would not choose these round numbers, just because those are already tricky enough as it is, as far as mental blocks, right? Whenever it comes to levels of support and resistance, there are these random levels of, okay, and we make them up ourselves, right? these people are saying, oh, AMC is not going to go past 100, 500, 10,000. And I think these kind of numbers are going to be mental blocks where people are going to sell on the way up. That is going to mess up some of the pressure. And not that, it's going to ruin everything or not, but just a theory that, just kind of makes sense logically of how people kind of think of these things that aren't necessarily the best way to think of them. It's kind of silly, but it is what it is. And at the time, to be fair, at the time, $40 was the highest one you can get. And keep in mind, this was, for those of you who remember, this was $39 at one point. 39. Today it is over $1,000. These were $39 at one point per one contract. Just crazy. Okay, so we were looking at the, I had a super chat. So Equinox, thank you so much for the super chat. Equinox says, hello, what are your thoughts on the leaked dark pool price for AMC? Equinox, I feel awful because I have no idea about the leaked dark pool price on AMC. I don't know where I can find that. I think I probably should have typed Reddit. Whoa, okay. Not verified. Be careful spreading. See, I believe, and I get concerned about how they're spreading these numbers, just because last time we had seen the dark pool at the very top had this number of, it was like 1 billion shares, but apparently the billion shares wasn't actual shares. I think they were saying that top number where it was like over 1 billion, that number was actually how many total shares were ever traded throughout the stock. So if they were traded, once, and that's one share, but you could trade it again. Now you have 2, 3, 4. And if you traded a clump, it would count like all 100. And so it could be like, even whenever you trade them back and forth, I think it was something like that. And the dark pools they're very interesting, but I don't know if we had anything. It's not a fake stream, Robert. You're a fake stream. I don't think we had anything very concrete from those numbers other than what a dark pool is. And just to refresh everybody's understanding of a dark pool, Investopedia, fantastic definition right here. Dark pools are private asset exchanges designed to provide additional liquidity and anonymity for trading large blocks of securities away from the public eye. That does not sound good at all. I cannot stand reading about dark pools because it's just sketchiest thing I've ever heard. It says, however, dark pools' lack of transparency makes them susceptible to conflicts of interest by their owners and predatory trading practices by HFT firms. HFT is high frequency trading firms, which is what we're dealing with Citadel and these kind of like freaking shorts, right? These guys are high frequency trading, which is why people believe they are artificially manipulating the price of the stock, because people are holding this freaking thing and people really aren't selling it. And magically the price just does this kind of stuff, right? Like, magically the price does this kind of stuff randomly whenever it's on an uptrend, right? So you're telling me it's on an uptrend, it's not at a psychological level of support, it's at, where did it hit right here, 328 or something, and you're telling me all of a sudden people a bunch of people, a ton of people decided that they're just going to drop and they're going to sell their stock all of a sudden. Tell me right here, 5 million people decided, I'm done. Or even right here, 1 million people or whatever, or however, I guess those are shares, but you get it. It doesn't make any sense. Does not make any sense at all. That's why I don't like dark pools. So sorry I don't have a better answer for you, I guess, as far as that information, but it seems like people were kind of skeptical about those numbers anyways, so just keep that in mind. So yeah, definitely looking forward to these options. We'll see if it holds water, right? If we do expire. And I guess my point to all of that was I fear that there's going to be some crazy movement next week where they're going to try to dump the stock and try to make it expire. Make these options not expire in the money, right? This $50 one is very, very nice. I would be very, 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 very happy if we close above 50 next week. I understand that would be more consolidation, but man, if for any reason we go up, right? If we were to go to 73 again, close above 75 or something, then I think we would definitely get another gamma squeeze, just based on the amount of options expiring in the money, right? So we'll have to see. But it could have been a perfect storm of options expiring in the money, as well as the short interest being really high, so they covered a little bit, and it could have been a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, so we'll see. Let me get a sip of water really quick, catch up with the chat, and then we'll continue to talk about some of these other things that I found pretty interesting. Hey, what's up, Lucid? I know my eyes are like small right now. I'm just so tired. I don't know why I'm so tired. Velocity says, do you have a personal sell point, if you don't mind me asking? Velocity, I don't have a personal sell point, right? I'm very, 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 very fortunate to basically have 99% of my plays in AMC, right? I did move everything over at especially around $27. The additional 5,000 that I put in was technically an option that expired, and I just option that I made a lot of money on expired, and I just kind of reinvested it in the stock. Obviously a little bit risky, but it is what it is. I feel good about it. I'm okay doing it. And I think it'll be worth it in the end, hopefully. But it's a risk I guess I was willing to take just because I believe in it. But as far as a personal sell point, I really don't have a personal sell point, right? I'm going to watch the DD. I'm going to watch what's going on. I'm just going to hold. Because I believe that there's going to be a crazy move, and we'll get into some of these things up here about why I think there's going to be a crazy move and why there's going to be some bullish price action, right? I really think that it's going to be, I would hate to freaking sell and then miss out on it, is what I'll say. I can hold, and I keep saying this, right? If I sell, my life really isn't very different. But if I hold and it goes super high, then you know what? I can have a very, very, very different life. And so by holding, there's nothing I lose by holding. I only win if I hold, or my life stays the same. But if I sell, then I don't even have a chance of changing my life, because I'm out. It's all realized gains. It's all realized losses. So. Tuates, is there something that you wanted to say, my friend? Skip that topic, please. Okay, well, what the heck? Just because I read a topic that you don't want me to talk about doesn't mean that that I'm like not being helpful or useful or anything. What the heck? You can't get mad because I'm not reading your specific messages. People are silly, man. People are too silly. Eat it. Oh, okay. I thought it was just me. I'm like, maybe I'm crazy. It's freaking out, and everybody's hating on this guy. That's all right. So let's go ahead and continue here. How to get a quick laugh in. Okay, so just a quick words of affirmation, right? GME Ape checking in. This is on the AMC stock subreddit. You guys are doing a fantastic job holding. We're in this together. Keep buying and holding. And this is pretty cool because I know there's been Ginger, congratulations on 2 months of being a member. Congratulations. As you can see, you've upgraded to the silver horns, and more to come. I appreciate you. So let's see, GME Ape Chicken. And so anyways, just really quick, I thought this was pretty cool. As we know, there's some kind of weird stuff going on with AMC and GameStop. Some people, and it's not everyone, right? They're just some apes that are like, ape don't fight ape. And people seem to have missed that in ape school. But yeah, so I can appreciate this. This has been a little more of a fluff than anything. Preparation for the squeeze, important. I don't know if it is important, but let's take a look. Well, I did like this right here. So I'm not going to read this whole craziness. I just want to touch on a few points that I thought was pretty interesting and that we all know. But just to reiterate, right? I thought my color was off. No, Ginger, upgrading. You are upgrading. So right here. So they will mainly do two things when they finally accept their defeat and will buy back, right? So whenever they get margin called or whatever happens, well, actually, if they start buying back, I guess if they get margin called, they won't really have a choice but to continue to add to their position. But if they decide, okay, we're just going to cover yada yada yada, then what they can do is they can go ahead and they're going to try to make us question the price targets, right? And they're going to try to make you think the squeeze is silver. They're going to do things like this, right? Where it runs up crazy and then it retraces harsh and, for a few days and it scares you. But you know what? Look, it bounced right back and then it bounced down and it's bouncing right back, right? And actually, looking at this, I'm actually pretty curious if it's going to go straight to 60. And, I say straight to 60, but this took, a whole day. And including some of the after hours and the pre-market of over here. So keep that in mind. But I'm very curious to see which way this is gonna bounce. This could be pretty good. Sweaty bought 20,000 shares today. What? Well, congratulations on your life. That's crazy. But yeah, so question on the floor. An abundance of great DD has been done. 500K for floor is not just possible, but rather most likely with the amount of synthetics created. And this is important to keep in mind, right? I sent a link to a small DD. Oh, thanks, Ian. I'm assuming it's in the Discord. So an abundance. So, and this is interesting. Remember, people have done the math. They've done the math and they've said things like this can go to 500K because of the DTCC and blah blah blah. It can be paid for. So and that's kind of an important part, right? To make sure it's going to be paid for. And theoretically, if it did go this high, then it would be paid for, which is a nice little a thing to appreciate, I would say, right? I appreciate it possibly being able to hit here, and hopefully it does go there. But something that people have to keep in mind is that how many synthetics are created. This is a number that is highly, highly, highly speculated on. The number that I continue to see is, and keep in mind, this number could be as similar as 500K, right? People are saying 500K, they kind of threw it out there. I'm not sure if 500K is based on any kind of a technical DD, right? As to where that number came from. But I do know that it's kind of a number, from my understanding, similar to the synthetics created. But people have and we talk about this all the time. People have kind of landed on the number of 2.5 billion synthetics that are created, which would be 5 times the float. And if that's true, then I mean, this is not a pipe dream in my personal opinion. Now the question is, they have to approve it. We would have to prove that there's that many synthetics, and there's a bunch of different factors that go into it. But just so that's out there. I don't know if I saw anything that I was really excited about on this. I mean, just a fun little read, a little interesting. And, sometimes I just read these for a little bit of motivation, right? Sometimes you need a little bit of motivation, a little bit of a push. Maybe you're having a rough day. Maybe you're not really believing in yourself or something. And that's okay, and I talked about this before where Trey talks about borrowing confidence. And, if you need to borrow confidence from somebody, or you need to borrow something from somebody, then, come in and, we'll talk about it, or we'll get hyped up. Go to the Discord. People will talk to you all day about it. I thought this was interesting. So there's an emergency Fed meeting being called for Tuesday, June 25th. June 15th, which is this following Tuesday coming up, or this Tuesday coming up. Closed doors. And so they're speculating repo market meltdown. So here's the official document, or I guess link to the website here. And you can see matters to be considered, discussion of monetary policy issues. Now, full disclosure here, who knows what the heck? And it does say advance notice of under expedited procedures, right? And I'm sure that's where they're getting the emergency meeting from. Expedited procedures kind of makes sense. But just to be clear here, we don't know if this is actually something, but it's always fun to kind of think of these things and you see, because who knows what monetary policy issues are. This is the Federal Reserve, just so anybody is curious, and it could be, for all we know, it's a meeting about all the money they printed and how it's going to affect inflation, or there's going to be something for, did he say Tuesday? I sure did say Tuesday, didn't I? Right here. Oh, is this Tuesday? This is a Tuesday. Boy, oh boy. But, so for all we know, this is about the inflation or whatever's going to happen, or for all we know, it's going to be, hey, guys, the DTCC is saying that we're going to have to help them cover some short positions when and if the squeeze goes on. So what do you guys think about that? But who knows what it's going to be about? It's just always fun to kind of speculate on what it could be. But it is what it is. Tuesday. And I thought this was funny. Bazinga article. What happened? Melvin Capital, a high-profile victim of the GameStop short squeeze frenzy earlier this year, lost another 4% in May, and its year-to-date loss has widened to about 44.7%, according to the report, in comparison to the S&P 500 index. Blah 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 blah. Okay, now this is funny because they use the word victim. And I mean, I guess it's a matter of perspective, but you know what? They basically did this to themselves, right? If they didn't, here's the deal. You have to bet that they're wondering if they did not short the stock 140%, however much percentage it was, and it was overly shorted than the float, then I wonder if Keith Gill would have even said anything. I wonder if Keith Gill would have noticed. I wonder if anyone would have noticed, right? And it would have gone totally under the radar. But with the stock being so heavily shorted, to the point where it stood out, right? And it said, you know what? I've never seen this before, or whatever the thought process was whenever they saw it originally. You have to wonder if they were like, you know what? If only we weren't so dang greedy. If only we weren't blah, blah, blah. I'm so curious if these guys would have if it wouldn't have been found. But I guess it is what it is now. Now we're in it. And, these guys are the victim of a short squeeze that they basically put themselves in the position to be in. Just, I thought it was funny. So it looks like here there's a DTCC notice to all members. No more hiding. You will be on our members list. This is something, guys, here's the deal. If I've learned anything from this, it is I have no clue why the DTCC, I don't know why these entities do the things you do. I don't know why they do the things they do, right? This is like me calling the government and, well, let me read this and then I'll give you my crazy example that probably won't make any sense. So here's the DTCC notice, blah, 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 the B number, I'm not sure what that is, but all this good stuff. And so here's what this says. This notice is to inform members that the DTC is updating its client directories to include all current members. DTC has historically excluded certain members from its directories at those members' request. However, DTC will no longer accept these requests in order to improve the transparency of its directories. Excuse me, man, I tell you I'm tired. Therefore, effective immediately, the DTC members, member directories that are published on our website at here will reflect all current memberships as of the date thereof. Client directories will continue to be updated monthly. And can you imagine, like, I don't even know what the equivalent of it would be. Can you imagine me telling the IRS, hey, like, don't put me on y'all's list for like taxes this year or whatever? I don't know, but that's not a good example. But can you imagine me requesting to just not be put on the list of something like I'm a member of or whatever? Like and then they're like, oh, okay, you don't want to be listed as like a member on our thing. Even like it's just so ridiculous. These things should be mandatory, right? It should be mandatory for them to do certain things. It's not an option. That's why we're in this predicament, right? That's why the market is so messed up. That's why, you know, these financial catastrophes freaking keep happening. And that is why, you know, we're on the verge of a potentially another financial like meltdown within the country, because of things like this, right? These little things continuing to pile up, continuing to go on, and no one does anything, right? Nothing changes. Now, finally, it looks like there is going to be some change. Gary Gensler is just moving and moving and moving. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what the heck he's going to do to make change. I'm very curious to know what the heck that guy's going to do. I apologize, Rick. I got you. But you know what? I do appreciate some kind of change going on. Hopefully, you know, I don't know if this is what we've been waiting for. This is the end. Here we go. But I think it, again, steps in the right direction, continuing to step, just moving towards it, right? So, you know, I appreciate it. I was going to save this to the end of the stream. Whoops, but I clicked it anyways. Funny little meme. I don't know. We got to laugh sometimes, right? And so, Freddie, not my birthday. Bought 5 more. I bought 3. Only got 1. And then I've been loving these memes of Kenny G saying, like, he just looks exhausted and tired. He goes, "You guys still have money?" Oh my gosh, here we go. But yeah, I've been really loving these memes with this guy. Just good stuff. Just yawn. I mean, not yawning. Oh gosh, just stretching. Nope. Enzo, duck. Ginger says, prepare to hold for 3 years. You weren't going to be a millionaire in 3 years anyways. What do you have to lose by holding? And that's a good point, right? And this is what I talk about whenever, you know, we were talking about, actually, let me take a look at the stock real quick. What we're doing. Okay, yeah, so kind of sideways right now. That's all right. And we were talking about this yesterday about the guy who had Bitcoin, and the tweet was from 2011. And he said, I can't believe he had 1,700 Bitcoin, right? 1,700 Bitcoins. And he decided he got in at 30 cents, sold at like 60 cents. He goes, man, if only I would have held on to my crypto right now, because it was $8 at the time. $8. Diamond backhand with the super chat. Happy birthday, bro. Thanks, Diamond. Thank you. Not my birthday. And so, yeah, that person was upset because Bitcoin was $8 and they sold at 60 cents. So just to put it in perspective for people really, really, really quick, you know, and well, really quick, that was from 2011. Can you imagine, and again, I mentioned this the other day, like, and keep in mind, you know, nothing is really guaranteed in what's going on or anything, but could you imagine if, you know, you had, what if you were told, hey, you buy Bitcoin, what if you were told there's a 30% chance that if you buy Bitcoin, and you hold it for 10 years, that you would become you could retire, you would become a multi-millionaire, tens of millions of dollars. But you had a 30% chance that you were going to be a millionaire if you held, right? for 10 years. Would you hold your Bitcoin for 10 years? Right. Like, and if you say you wouldn't, I mean, that's probably pretty silly, right? Even off a 30% chance, I would have held. I probably would have held off of any kind of percentage, right? It's unrealized gains, unrealized losses, and I'm already in. And remember, he had it at 30. I think he got in at 30 cents. It was $500. Can you imagine? Anyways, so just things to think about, right? Just, you know, and again, this is it's different, but keep in mind, you know, that kind of thought process. That's what makes it so easy for me to hold. It makes it so freaking easy for me to hold. Black Udon says, Corey, people suicided for losing a hard drive that has tons of Bitcoin on it. I know people lost flash drives, people lost hard drives, people well, I guess it was on their hard drive on their computer, had it gone. I mean, there's Bitcoins that were lost, like that people didn't even know they had it. Like there was some, and remember, all the stories were coming out, you know, mid 2010s that, oh, like this person found that they had, you know, 1 million Bitcoins just in their hard drive that they bought, you know, in who knows how long ago, right? It was sitting there for a long time, for years and years and years. And they just kind of had it in there. They forgot about it. And they were like, and then they checked and that was what they purchased, Bitcoin. It's just crazy to think about how people did that. Ginger says, I'm so bullish on Bitcoin. I will never sell it. You know, I do. One of my coworkers, he said he'll never sell his Bitcoin. Like he just has his Bitcoin. And I mean, unless it gets to, you know, $10 million or something where he's going to change something, he's just not going to sell it, because for him, it's worth it to hold, right? He can make, you know, at this point, $30,000. He didn't sell it at whenever it hit like 70,000, I think, but it's just crazy. It's, you know, it's just interesting, right? And he's been holding it this whole time. He's going to continue to hold. And for the longest time, he was down on Bitcoin, right? He got in at, I think, 16, and then 16 was like the peak, and it retraced. And what did he do? He held this entire time. He's finally in the green, and he's happy about it. Freddy. And the good news is, I'll say this also, keep in mind that short-term capital gains tax is much higher than long-term capital gains tax. Long-term capital gains tax, meaning you hold it over 1 year, your tax rate is going to be less. So if this continues for longer than a year and you still have your position, you could probably be pretty happy about what's going on. J-Sack, what is up? Oh my gosh, hello. Oh my gosh, welcome. It's not his birthday. Oh my gosh, this is too funny. Coming to end wedge. Let's see the 5-day. There we go. You know, I think we are going to be able to wedge this again. Let's look at the 1 month really quick. Yeah, I think it's going to be part of the wedge. How's this bottom looking? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. We can do it here. I feel okay about that. Man, we're moving on. Just want to move this closer a little bit. All right, let's see what we get. We're still in here. Consolidation, right? I'm waiting for a strong breakout, right? And I don't keep moving this wedge, but you know what? We'll see. Farzams, thank you so much for the super chat. Farzam says, Marine 8 years, then Blackwater. When I see the term bloody day, yawn, no offense. Easiest battle of my life. Hodl, 25K stock on February 2nd. Dang, we are holding. Hey, Farzam, thank you so much for your service. My brother, he was in the Marines. He's in the Army now. So a lot of love. Diane's in a mood. Diane's not messing around, guys. Diane, you know what? Diane's earned. Diane knows what she's doing. She earned her place. All right. Don't mess with Diane. Diamond on my chart. Had a false breakdown. Yeah, it depends. Diamond. It just depends on where you're. On your candles, which candles you have. I'll leave it on the 1 minute. We'll watch this end. 2 more minutes left on the day. Man, very, very, very sideways over here, right? We'll see which way it goes. Usually toward the end, we see a little either run or drop. So we'll see which way it goes. Oh, 49.50. I wonder if we'll see a little run right here. That's how you found out about Bitcoin, Ginger. Well, there you go. I did not know you could borrow against Bitcoin. I had no idea. Check in a sec. Oh, I gotcha. I see what you did there. Yeah, you wedge like right here. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I guess I'm looking a little more macroscopically. But yeah, that's all right. Let me get caught up on this chat real quick. Oh, thank you, birthday. Thank you, Rania. Let's see. Zachary says, hey, Corey, hope you had a good week. I did have a good week, my friend. Thank you so much. Hopefully you did as well. What a roller coaster week. Yes. But thing to remember, the longer we hodl, the more they lose. We only lose if we sell. That's a great point, right? It's so easy to hold, guys. Like, theoretically, right? It's free to freaking hold, basically. And if you are holding, if you've been holding for more than 2 weeks, then you're up. You're good. You're probably very happy. It does make it much easier to hold at that point, right? So now the question is how long is it going to take, right? And for me, it's again, I keep mentioning this, and I just want to triple down on this because it cost me nothing to hold, right? The only thing I'm theoretically losing out on is opportunity cost. But you know what? This opportunity cost that I have right here, I'm already up more than I would have been in another stock, right? And the chances of me picking one of these stocks that ran up is very, very, very low, right? It is actually like hitting the lottery. And I'll tell you right now, I would not have chosen a single one of these stocks, guaranteed, right? I know for a fact I would not have chosen one of those stocks as one of the top runners for the day, right? So the only thing you are holding, and I don't want to say that you're not losing out on anything. Theoretically, the only thing you are missing out on is that opportunity cost of, we were up 15% on the day, which is very, very, very fantastic. The only thing you missed out on today was these runs, right? And for me, it's worth it to hold because I'm very, very confident that this stock will run, right? Think about it, right? And play that game with yourself. I would love for you to choose 10 stocks, right? Choose 10 stocks tonight or over the weekend or sometime and see if any one of those stocks is on this list. And, if any one of them was on the list, well, then again, you would have had to choose that one stock, or you'd have to put a bunch of money in that one stock in order to reap the benefits. It's just too many factors, too many what ifs, right? And that's why it's so easy to hold this stock, because I'm so confident in what's going on in it. Corey Johnson, happy birthday, bro. To the moon. Oh, okay. Let me see. Let me pull up this thing really quick. Move this up here. Let me take a look at the chat really quick. All right, let me copy this DD and take a look. You guys can enjoy this meme for a second. All right, let's see if we can go through this really quickly. TLDR, please. No TLDR. Excellent. So keep in mind, I really haven't been able to screen this at all. Ian sent this to me in the Discord. So we'll take a look at it really quick, see if there's anything. It doesn't look like there are any really votes on it just yet. So maybe it's still calculating the votes, or still being voted on before it can actually, it was posted an hour ago. So typically these would have a few upvotes or something. 2 comments. Reposting because I know they may limit the exposure of certain things in posts, but I'm sure. Or let me see, posts. I'm sure there's still a lot, and I will update ASAP. Here's 7 essential things to create a winning culture. Okay, so the numbers aren't really done properly, but people who share your passion, communication, learning from mistakes, empower autonomy. All right. Have fun. Have fun. That's my favorite one. Enjoy the little things. All right. Boom. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Okay, let's go ahead and continue over here. Ready for Monday, ready for Monday. Okay, so I did want to read this one. So TFE, V-Ball says, I will say, I am mentally exhausted, and it's so frustrating, but we've been at this since January, and taking breaks is helpful. That said, it's stressful, and holding hurts them more than us. Yeah, and V-Ball, I appreciate you saying that, because here's the deal. I know it's stressful, right? I know it is. It's taxing. I know, I totally understand. And what I appreciate is you saying taking breaks is helpful. Taking breaks is helpful, right? Taking a break, going for a walk, not looking at your dang position, your whole position. All I look at is the price of the stock. I look at the price of the stock and I say, you know what? It's a good day. I'll continue to watch it, see what happens. Or I wait for alerts on my phone or something and see what's going on. But, and when it's going down, I look away. Honestly, I look away. I don't want to see it dipping, and I look sometimes. But if it's going down, if it's a red day, I'd rather not look, right? Because I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm not going to sell or anything. It was funny. My fiance and I, we were eating, and she said, she goes, "Have you looked at AMC today?" And I said, "No, I actually haven't." And she goes, "Well, when do you know to sell?" And I said, "Sell? Ha." And I just laughed, because I have an issue. I have issues, is why I laughed. So yeah. Liberi says, Is it true that the final boss isn't Citadel, but the brokerages itself? They can limit us for God knows how long and how many times. So, there's a little bit of there's a few different things in there, right? So let's talk about Citadel. So realistically, Citadel is at the mercy of like the DTCC and those guys at this point, right? SEC, DTCC, yada yada yada, is how I'm looking at it, right? And they're waiting basically for a margin call. They're just crossing their fingers every single day, hoping that I'll get some kind of margin call saying, "Hey, you need to cover. It is done. It is over with. The jig is up. You're out of here. Peace out." And that was my sign off. And so that's what I think they're waiting for. Now, on the flip side of that, the brokerages. So brokerages, it's a very interesting thing because currently what that person was probably referring to was there was a lawsuit filed, right? And the lawsuit filed said that Robinhood, Apex Clearing, which is Robinhood's and Webull's clearinghouse, Citadel, a bunch of these other brokerages and stuff, and hedge funds and stuff. From my understanding, it said these guys were colluding on something and they're being investigated. Okay. Now, here's the deal with some of those things is we don't know how much is we don't know how much of that actual subpoena or whatever it was is actually real, is actually legit, right? I could go right now and find a lawyer to file an injunction or whatever it would be called and say, hey, I want to sue my neighbor because they looked at me funny and I feel threatened, right? And theoretically I could go and just submit that and it would be filed somewhere, and or if it would be filed, and it would be filed somewhere, and that if it was someone really wanted to find it and look it up, I guess theoretically they could look it up, right? Now, and the reason I bring this up is because I also saw, and I'm not trying to shill anybody, I'm just saying like I did see a counter post to why that article or that filing was so important, because there's something called ambulance chasers. And for those of you who don't know what ambulance chasers are, it's basically, I think they're, what are they called? What kind of attorneys? They're like accident lawyers. And if you want to know what an accident lawyer is, it's basically, how you hear the commercials on TV where you injured in an accident, where you this, where you that, you get rear-ended. That's what an accident lawyer is, right? They used to literally chase ambulances and said, hey, where you hit, like, here's my contact information, here's this, call me, I'll get you $10,000, $1 million, $100,000, whatever they're going to give you. And that was literally a thing. And so theoretically, and eventually they got outlawed, it's a whole thing. But anyways, what that person was saying is that this could be some kind of ambulance chasing situation where maybe there is something, maybe there isn't something. It seems like they are going to try, but keep in mind that it is going to be, if it is actually allowed, like if it's a class action lawsuit, keep in mind it's going to take forever. And at the end of the day, let's say you lost $100,000, right? Because of Robinhood halting trading, the stock plummeted, caused the whole thing, market manipulation. Let's say you lost $100,000 because of it, right? Theoretically, you probably wouldn't get $100,000. You might get $5, $2, if you're very lucky, maybe you'll get $10, $100. I mean, realistically, those class action lawsuits don't necessarily pan out or anything. So just keep that in mind. Hopefully it does turn into something, right? Hopefully at the very least, Robinhood gets in trouble. But it's just, either way, those takes a long time. Anyways, I just wanted to bring that up really quick, just in case anyone was putting all those eggs in that basket. Farzams, thank you for the super chat. Farzam says, daily AMC will toughen up your mind for future issues and battles. It will make you tougher mentally, or better and tougher mentally. Remember, it's just chemicals in your head. Farzam, that's a good point, right? And, I just want to give people, and it sounds like you're probably pretty mentally strong. You have to keep in mind other people have like high, severe anxiety that that other people, it's hard to understand, right? I think I'm fairly fortunate. I don't have like crazy anxiety. I used to have like anxiety when I was younger. I didn't know I had anxiety. And so I just kind of like had to talk myself like calm. And it's something that I kind of developed over time to help myself out. But for something like this, it's just, you know, it's just a little easier for me, right? It's better on my psyche, especially while I'm working, that I don't have to look at the stock all day, because at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter, right? I don't care if the stock goes to $100 or if it goes to, you know, $30, you know. I'm not going to sell either way. So it's not really much need for me to check it every 2 seconds. And on top of that, you know, kind of, it just helps zen me out a little bit. But I respect that. That's hopefully that helps somebody. Yeah, Diamond says, do not watch your P&L. I watched myself lose 100K. Yeah, watching that doesn't feel good. Just doesn't feel good. World-changing tendies. Robert says, my fiance asked me the same question the other day, and I just laughed in her face and said, not happening till I meet my goal. Right. And luckily, you know, she understands, she respects it. Here's the deal. She has her own AMC, right? And she's hoping it gets to 100,000. She said if it gets to 100,000, she's going to buy a house. Buy a house for us to live in. Yeah. So respect. I appreciate it. Robert says, I ended up putting another 1,000 on it and had my cost average go up. I'm with you. You know, I've been averaging up, and I do it again. I do it again. Julie, I agree with Julie. Julie says, I bought shares at $13. One more at $43. It's still going to be worth it to buy more at this price. Yeah, and I agree. I'm telling you, I really, truly think that people are going to say, I wish I would have bought more at 70. What was I thinking? And that is going to be crazy, right? Can you imagine somebody wishing they bought more at 70? I mean, I guess I can imagine it, right? Because think about it. We saw it with GameStop. I wish I would have bought more at 70, right? I wish I would have bought more at 40, you know, whenever it was 40, 50, 60. I wish I would have bought more at 100. And because for me, my average is like 180. You know, I'm doing good. I feel pretty good about it. But dang, is my average 180? Why is it so high? Maybe my average is lower than 180, but maybe it's around 150 or something. But either way, I wish I would have bought way under 150, way under that time. I wish I would have did better and bought the dip, bought more shares. Because think about it, if my average is 150, I could have bought 3 shares at $50 each for each one, right? Just crazy to think about that. Ambulance chasing is illegal, Diamond. But that's kind of the story behind it. It's actually very interesting. I learned the coolest things in my job about like just marketing and stuff, and how much it costs for people to like advertise on Google. And those accident lawyers, man, they'll pay so much money just for a click on their website to possibly get someone to purchase their services, like, you know, to hire them as their attorney. It's unreal how much they will pay just for one click to possibly get, you know, like a 10% chance for them to use them. It's ridiculous. That's how much money is in this stuff. That's why, and drive around your town. Next time you're driving around your town, look at the billboards, right? I guarantee 90% of those billboards, or around 90% or something, are lawyers, right? Here where I live, they're all lawyers. Every single, not, I would say 90% of billboards are all lawyers, and there's a reason for that. We're gonna get in touch with these ambulance chasers. They're called, what are they called? Personal injury attorneys, personal injury lawyers, right? Those are the people I'm talking about. Black Udon says 2 people dislike the stream. You know, I do have a theory. I think that well, I don't want to talk about the theory because I don't want to cause it to be true, but yeah, you know, some people just don't like me, and you know, I want to say I can't blame them, but sorry, you know, it's probably, you know, Melvin and Citadel just coming in here saying, not today. V-Ball says, if they are in fact investigating, an actual case will be announced, and or when they are ready. Fed agencies are not really in the business of announcing investigations, because imagine if they did that. Right, that's a good point, V-Ball. We talked about this before, actually, because we have to keep in mind, like, I think it was the McMillions documentary. If you, first of all, you haven't seen it, take a look at it. It's very interesting. I think it's on Amazon or Netflix or something, and it's basically about how you guys remember Monopoly in McDonald's? I don't know if they still do it, but Monopoly in McDonald's, for about, I don't know how many years. For years, it was rigged. It was freaking rigged because of the way they did it. It's actually very interesting. It was unintentionally rigged, you know, but the person who was high up and trusted, he rigged the game. It was insane. But anyways, what was I saying? But anyways, but whenever they're doing some kind of investigation, you know, the feds or whoever it would be, they try to get as much information as they can before they start pursuing this case, just because, or, you know, before they announce things or whatever they do, for several reasons. You know, they want to make sure it's concrete. They want to make sure the person isn't going to get away. Excuse me. They want to make sure they're not going to get sued for defamation or something like that. Stuff like that. So sometimes it'll go literally years where they are, and same thing from my understanding, like even the DEA, right? They'll plant people and they'll search, they'll let the little fish go and try to catch the big fish type deal. And that's what they'll do. And it's very possible that we'll have that kind of situation, right? And keep in mind, you know, it's not really talked about that much, but a lot of whistleblowers have come forward on, you know, to the SEC about things going on. Now, we have to keep in mind that's, we can only speculate as to what they came forward on, but, you know, one can dream. One can dream. Malvolable. What's up? Do you have any predictions for next week? So I really don't like to do predictions, right? I guess if I were to predict for next week, I would think it's going to be some kind of sideways consolidation again, you know, or maybe even some kind of dip, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we got into this little area, just so these options don't expire in the money, right? And I'm not trying to shill anybody. I just want people to be prepared mentally for what might happen. I would love for us to trade sideways and continue consolidate, maybe in around $60 next week. That'd be great, because but, you know, this is, I think next week is going to be a kind of, I don't want to put too much weight in it because there's already so much freaking weight in it just based on the options alone. But I'm definitely looking forward to next week, right? I'm very bullish on next week. Hopefully it ends in everybody's favor, right? Hopefully it ends super, super high. But it's really hard to say. What I like to do is I like to look at the technical analysis, look at it each day, and see what we're doing, right? Currently, we're still kind of in this wedge. And, you know, this wedge is kind of a little weak at the top, I would say. You know, I would like to bring this down a little bit just to have a little more points touching. But it's kind of close enough. I could scoot this down a little bit, and I could make it work in my favor. But either way, I still feel like we're consolidating. I'm hoping that we respect this level of support around this 42.27 point, and as long as we continue to respect that, I'm pretty happy. We'll see which way we go. If it continues to trade around 42. I'd even take that, right? Even if we ended above 40, I just want to end above 40 for next week in the options. And if we do that, then I'm going to freaking be very, very happy. Again, I'm not sure if we'll actually gamma squeeze, but the conditions, in my opinion, will be this very similar to as far as the options contracts expiring in the money to the gamma squeeze that we had back here. So definitely looking forward to it. Mark and D, I want to buy an option on Robinhood. If that's your prerogative, my friend. How much should I call? I have 2K. How much should I call? So Mark and D, that is totally up to you, my friend. I do have a short video on options trading on Webull. Works on Robinhood, same concept. And you have to decide a bunch of different factors. You have 2K. I mean, you have a bunch of different things you can do. You can try for, next Friday. And you can go all the way out here and look how many you can buy with 2K. You can buy a bunch, what is that, 20? Look at that. You can probably buy a few more. Oh, no, just 20. And so, yeah, you can buy 20 of these, and assuming it hits 145K, which who knows if it will or won't. But if it hits 150, then you just made, $8,000 on your $2,000 bet, which is not bad at all. But it depends if it's going to hit, and that's if you want to kind of YOLO into it. But if you don't want to do that, then, you can play it just out of the money right here. For 720, you can get, what is it? 2. You can get 2 in here, and, but you have to keep in mind, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get in the money. To make a profit on this, just because you're so close to being in the money, and the break even looks around 57.20. But, yeah, so there's a bunch of different ways you can play it, but it all depends on your risk tolerance, right? Because what you could also do is, if you want to be super safe, I don't know, you can go out here to January and play it. You'd have to go a little further out of the money, but let's say you think before January, sometime before January, or January included, before January 21st. Anytime between now and January 21st, if you think the stock is going to go to $85, right, you can go in here and you can purchase your call option. I guess you'd want it to go way above $85, but if the stock were to go to 120, we'll call it, then you make $1,500 on your $2,000 bet, right? So it's not as nice whenever it comes to your profits, but you have to keep in mind you have a lot more time for them to go into the money. So just keep that in mind. Are you in Florida? In many states, lawyer soliciting is prohibited. No, I'm in Texas. I used to live in Florida, and I remember hearing all about it in Florida. But over here in Texas, I don't know what the law is as far as that goes. But yeah, on Google, you can just say, if someone searches like car accident attorney, car accident lawyer, then you can appear at the top of Google and that kind of stuff. So normal. Channing says, what happens if the hedge funds go bankrupt? Who will buy back the shares? So Channing, that's set up for us, my friend. Great question, right? Excellent question. That has been set up. The good old DTC will take care of that, right? DTCC is insured for, I don't know how many trillion. Trillions of dollars. I think tens of trillions of dollars or something. 47 trillion, something crazy like that. They're insured and they will pay. And let's say the shares, the stocks go to, $1 million per share or something. At that point, the Federal Reserve has got our back, right? So we will be paid. whether it's by the DTCC, by the hedge funds, the DTCC, the Federal Reserve, whoever it would be, we would get freaking paid. Great question, easy question, but hopefully that feels a little bit better. Hey, I got a question. If I buy an option of $1 strike price, if I did exercise it, does that mean I bought 100 shares for $1 and my average go way down? Ian, no, because you would still have to pay that premium, right? I'm not sure if you exercise. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know the answer to that question. I'm not gonna try to make something up or anything like that. I do know that if that was the case, then everyone would probably do it. So no, that's not how that would work. I can't tell you exactly how it would work if you were to buy this here at the $1 strike. If you were to exercise it, because 100. I don't have a good answer for you, my friend. If anyone has a good answer for that, and here's the deal, guys. Maybe you think, oh, Corey doesn't know anything, but I'd rather just tell you the truth rather than try to make something up. So I might need to refer to the help of the chat on this one. No, it wasn't you, Diane. If it's not people telling people to leave. It's like, I swear, I have people who come in, they look at my videos, right? As soon as I post a video, instantly I get a dislike instantly. So someone is subscribed to me, they watch my video, like as soon as I release a video, they go in and downvote instantly. Right? What they don't know is by going in and just downvoting instantly, it still helps me with the YouTube algorithm, because it tells me that they had an opinion on the video and that the video was strong enough for them to have an opinion on it. So, I really, obviously I don't prefer downvotes, but some people, they literally go in, they have me saved, downvote, as soon as I get a video, they go in and downvote me. So no problem. It is what it is. We can counteract that by going the video really quick and upvoting it or whatever you want to do. But it's crazy what people actually do. Like, it's just crazy. And here's the deal. I've noticed it on Trey, on Matt Kors. And you know what? That's how you know you're doing all right. That's how you know you're doing all right. E-Bomb says, I remember the McDonald's Monopoly. I never really tried, though. You should be happy that you never tried, because spoiler alert, you wouldn't have won. First of all, and by the way, if you guys haven't seen that documentary, highly recommended. Here's the deal. Is it the greatest documentary I've ever seen? No. Is it extremely interesting? Yes. It's very interesting how it worked. All of it is pretty crazy. Black Udon was correct. Yep. Insured by the DTCC. Yo, my contacts are drying out. Holy smokes, I can't see. $67 trillion. The DTCC is insured for $67 trillion. Holy guys, I can't even imagine. I can't even count that high. Let's see if we can buy ourselves though. So David says, for the DTCC, how the stocks are insured, how we're gonna, get paid. Do they swoop in and buy ourselves though? Honestly, David, I'm not entirely sure how that would work for, in the terms of Citadel or the terms of like them covering whenever it has to change entities, right? If it does have to go to the DTCC or the NSCC or the DTCC or the Federal Reserve, for all I know, it might do a just run the hedge funds at a negative balance, and then the DTCC just pays that negative balance. That'd probably be the easiest way to do it, but I that's only speculation. I have no freaking clue how it would work. All I know is that it is very much understood that it would be paid for, would be covered. Or is that? Yes, it is a double bottom on screen. You are correct, my friend. Max average down, so we have our back. Wrecking says, so we have our own back. We have our back with our own back. Yeah, it's here's the deal. It's a mess. They're just gonna print money. I mean, here's the deal. I don't know how the Federal Reserve operates. Honestly, if I were to be completely honest, I don't know how they operate with these kinds of situations. It's obviously a very I don't think it's precedented, right? 67 trillion is a lot of money for them to have in insurance, right? So I think it'll be okay. But yeah, if the Federal Reserve has to start printing, I mean, they've been printing this year anyways. And we're not going to get into the politics of that, but very curious to know. I'd love to see a good documentary on the Federal Reserve and what happened during 2020, 2021. And I'm so curious. I believe you break even. This is boring. Yeah, I don't know. MGTO says you can buy the stock at what you paid for it, not the strike price. Look, that's cool. No money, no honey. Shane says Gamma Squeeze next week. Shane, I'm not sure if we'll Gamma Squeeze, honestly, just to be, in my personal opinion, I really don't think we'll Gamma Squeeze based on the options expiring in the money. We didn't see any crazy price action. I really don't see a reason as to why we would Gamma Squeeze next week. However, if we do expire in the money next week, around anywhere above, I think, the $40 strike, I think that we probably would Gamma Squeeze at that point. Theoretically, right? I think we would have the proper, and it's I don't know if it's a perfect storm that we would have to have of options, the price running up that week, short interest being super high. I don't know if it's all categories or some categories, but it'll be a good test, right? Because the short interest it's still actually very high, right? Even at 11%, 12%, it's still very high short interest. Okay, just so you guys know, and but it's going to be very interesting if the short interest stays where it's at, if everything stays relatively the same, but a lot of those options expire in the money and we do Gamma Squeeze. That will be very, very, very telling, right? Now, granted, maybe that's a fluke, maybe that's a one-time thing. I would love to see the numbers from January, like I said, the Friday before January, or the Friday before January 27th, to see where we were at previously for that Gamma Squeeze. But unfortunately, I don't know where the heck to get those numbers. I want to see how many options expired in the money on that Friday. And if anyone knows where to get that, I would literally pay for it. I don't know. I'll send you a hat or something. If it's like verifiable, if I can like see I just need to see these numbers, like improve it. But yeah, I mean, please, I'd send a hat. Oh, Ginger says, y'all know I mentioned uranium a lot, and don't miss these low prices. Uranium is a huge part of going electric, and Biden's green plan. These stocks are in the single digits. You know, Ginger, I would love to talk to you about that. I've been looking a lot. Like, one of my plays that I really want to get into is EV, right? There's so many different sectors of EV. I want my portfolio to be actually like a large amount, right? And I'm not talking 50% or anything, but I want my portfolio to have a lot of green in it, because you have to keep in mind there are different aspects to greens. There's the, oh gosh, here we go. There's the batteries, like the different materials that go into the batteries themselves. There's, you know, and actually, I guess I'm mostly interested in that aspect of it. But the self-driving technologies with like microvision and stuff, there's a bunch of different aspects of it that I'm extremely curious about that I haven't dove deep enough into to be educated on it. I don't know if anyone in here is educated enough on that, but you know what would be so cool if we had streams dedicated to different topics. So for example, on Fridays or on Tuesdays or one random day, right, we would have like education streams, and we could talk about what is going to be, you know, like we could have like a guest list, or even if it's you guys, right? Even if it's you know, the apes, if you guys come on the stream, come on the channel, come on the Discord, and we'll do a little conversation. Everybody gets 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever it would be, and you know, you can present, look, like this is a good company because of XYZ. Man, that'd be pretty cool, actually. Can't Stop Won't Stop GameStop super chatted, says, you don't think AMC 41,000 calls in the money will gamma 618 or 414,000? I don't know if it's 414,000. It says that there's only 98 or 90,000 contracts. I'm not sure where that number is coming from. You can tell me in the chat. You don't have to super chat again. Just tell me in the chat where that number came from. Unless you're talking about right here, unless you're talking about like the 418 options expiring in the money. Can I see the 418 ones here? Or the 418, can I see the 618 ones? Oh, here it is. Yeah, okay, nice. I didn't know that this was here. I will say, I do think that, so just to be crystal clear, I do think that well, that's my theory, right? I do think that if this many calls expire in the money, right, that it would gamma squeeze. I really do think that it would. But, you know, this is something that we'll have to see if they do all expire in the money. Realistically, I think we would need only half of that to expire in the money to try for a gamma squeeze. But the more the merrier, just to be a, you know, because if it is, let's say it is 200,000 instead of 400,000, at that point, 200,000 is what caused this. You know, it was 190,000, so 10,000 less, which caused this right here, this gamma squeeze, right? In my opinion, as well as some covering. So keep that in mind. But I do think that if this many expire in the money, I would love for it to gamma squeeze. I think it would. I don't know how to scroll down here. I really don't use this. I use this part of the website. I didn't know I could scroll down. This would have been very helpful before. To be clear, uranium is long term, and I would agree with that, Ginger. You know, these kinds of plays, and I have a bunch of different ideas. Like, you know, I talked about parking lots where they're going to be parking lots full of charging. Oh yeah, charging stations is another thing I want to get into. Batteries, charging stations. And there's going to be different things like that, right? There's going to be accessories for the houses, I'm sure, for charging. I don't know what those accessories would be, or maybe there's certain materials like you need I don't know what you would need. You know, if those machines that are charging stations, they need a lot of copper. If they need a lot of X or Y. Who knows what, right? On top of that, there's that chip shortage, right? That chip shortage is going to be here for years. And that's another way you can make a lot of money, right? So looking for those kinds of plays, and this is where I want to be investing in. And I need to make sure I'm staying on top of these kinds of plays. This way, as soon as the squeeze is squeezed, as soon as I cash out, I'm right back in the market immediately. That money sitting in your account, right, doing nothing, is doing nothing, right? It's not making you any money. It's not losing you any money. But theoretically, if you're not gaining money based on inflation, you're losing money, right? No matter how large or small inflation is. So do keep that in mind. Can't stop, won't stop with another super chat. Keep in mind, there's another 25K at 50. And yes. So we were looking at that, right? We were looking at these options right here for next week. And yes, this $50 one is beautiful. I mean, looking forward to that. And where'd you say the other one? 27. Oh wait, another 27 at 55. Yeah. I mean, I don't know where you're getting 27K. Oh, up to, okay, if you add these up. Fair enough. Yes. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to this. I'm very curious to know what's going to happen next week, right? Because if this does start to fall, right, I think they're going to try to push it below 40 as hard as they can. But you know what? I feel like the apes are holding so dang strong that I don't think they'll be able to do it, you know? But we'll have to see, right? They're going to do everything they can to not let these expire in the money. And hopefully they don't get there. Hopefully they don't get there. But even if they did get there, right? Even there, we would still have, you know, I don't know the exact number here, but it would still be about 300,000 calls in the money, which would be crazy. What the heck just happened? All right, the mods got us. What the heck? Wait. What the heck just happened? Did I just get like attacked? My mods just killed it. I don't even know what they were saying. I looked away for a second and I came back and... Oh, this is messed up that these guys are doing this like that. Well, thank you, mods. You guys saved the freaking day. Holy smokes, that was crazy. Man, that was wild. The mods really took care of that. Thank you, mods. You guys killed it. I saw all you guys. It was all hands on deck. That was pretty cool, actually. Man. I felt like, you know, I'm like a child walking around and you guys are like my ninja caretakers. Like, I don't know you're there, but you're just watching all the time. And then, you know, somebody was trying to creep up on me, a whole gang of people. And, you know, I'm walking and then all of a sudden, you know, I turn around and there's like 30 people laying on the floor laid out. And that's what just happened. You guys just ninja assassin saved me. So thank you. What the heck? That was crazy. Yeah, don't click links. Obviously. Yeah, the mods killed that. Round of applause for the freaking mods. Holy smokes, that was sick. I didn't even see it. I'm looking at my screen real quick, talking about these options. I don't even know what I'm talking about. No, I was kidding. Ninja body cards. Yes, that's what I was thinking of. Chris Farley in Beverly Hills Ninja. When his brother is protecting him, he has no idea. He thinks he's doing all this good stuff, but he doesn't know what he's doing. That's what you guys just did to me. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's take a look at what else we have going on here. I think I'm basically running out of steam. I think this is everything I really wanted to talk about, right? Let me see if I can double down on anything. Fed meeting. No, you know, I feel good. I feel like we talked about everything pretty well. I feel good about everything going on. Man, this is getting crazy. Let me see if I can. Oh, can I? Oh, it doesn't let me. Oh, David, you almost got banned. I wanted to jump in and start banning people, and you almost got it, David. You almost got banned. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to permaban these people so they don't come back instead of just a timeout. Could you imagine if I would have just accidentally banned you? Just permanently? Man, that was messed up. All right. Well, either way, guys, that was everything I wanted. They're trying to tell us about some kind of, and it's sad, right? Because they're trying to tell us about some kind of, I think, a children's hospital or something. Let me see. Oh no, see, they're trying to get you to visit a website for some kind of giveaway. So I thought it was a charity or something. It's not a charity. They're trying to get you to buy something. Do not go to their website. Do not buy what they want you to buy or enter for your giveaway for your free $1 million or whatever they're trying to do. So yes, just hang on for a sec. But either way, guys, I am actually going to wrap up. Anyways, everything, you know, I have like 10 minutes left, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up. I know this is freaking rough, but I'm not doing members only. Can you imagine if I did members only? No, I'm not really a fan, but and I kind of like the shills a little bit, you know, respectful shills. I don't mind them so much. Just so that people can, you know, I want people to be shielded a little bit so they can say, no, I know the DD, I know what's going on. I don't believe you. I don't think you're accurate, right? And I'm not gonna freaking sell. So I kind of like that kind of back and forth. I need people to understand, right? Stand your freaking ground, you know. And if you believe in it. But yeah, all right, guys, I'm gonna start wrapping it up. Thank you to the mods again. You guys are freaking fantastic. Hyped up. I appreciate it so much. But you guys have a great weekend. All right. You know, if you need to step away, don't look at the stocks. Don't worry about it. Don't watch it. Don't look at Reddit and stuff. Just hang out, get some fresh air, and you know, exercise and hydrate. All right. But all right, guys, I appreciate you guys so much. I will see you guys on Monday. Good old Monday. Hopefully we'll have a good day Monday. Diamond, I'll see you on Tuesday. And I will see you guys next week. All right. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll leave you guys with some music. Peace.